There you have it, Heroes fans. Tomb of the Spider Queen. Now we're jumping into our first draft here.
Yeah, very excited to see how this one goes. We saw Tyrande banned second like every single time last week, as expected. Will that continue to be the trend? The game continues to evolve. We continue to see balance patches like very regularly to this month.
Yeah, it seems like Blizzard even wants to try to release at least like a new PTR change about once every week or two.
Yeah.
And the patches may come along with that. Now, Mighty did win the coin toss, and as is the way of things in Heroes of the Storm, almost every team will always choose first ban instead of choosing the map. It is going to be a Zagara ban for Mighty.
That's not too surprising here. Zagara gives you so much vision, as that little map preview showed you. The lanes are very close together. By having her creep tumors everywhere, it really helps. Oh my god, and a Thrall ban right off the bat.
This means not only Tyrande but also Uther are both available here. Tyrande is going to be first picked, as you'd imagine, and Tyrande is so powerful on this map because of her ability to give stuns to gankers. And then we're going to see Uther and Johanna picked up very quickly here.
That is super early for Johanna in the current metagame in Korea. Like, obviously still a fantastic tank, but most people prefer Muradin. Even after these avatar switches, I haven't seen too much of a change in that yet.
Yeah, it's too new, I'd say, for us to see a huge meta shift yet. But Johanna is great at wave clear, so that may be one of the reasons why she's sought after here. Speaking of wave clear, there's Kael'thas, and Diablo is available with Tyrande. So
God,
that dastardly duo.
That is brutal. I mean, the combo of Diablo, Tyrande, anyone that plays this game knows and feels what that's like. And then to have Kael'thas on top of that, the best wave clearer in the game, the best ranged assassin, I think no one would disagree with that.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. Especially in Korea, there's no dispute. Now, a few ban choices here. I would say it's a tough ban. It's a tough draft though for 1.4 at this point. Like,
yeah,
Mighty already has such a set lineup.
You know what? 1.4 is going to go for Kerrigan, I think here. Which, okay, so I would say they might want to ban like a second tank. You think, like maybe a Muradin or something? Because with this Uther and getting Johanna right off the bat. One of the comps that they used a lot was Uther with Kerrigan and having Johanna as their tank during the qualifier. Wouldn't be surprised if they go for something like that.
That's very well said. Also, that's the one kind of type of player that's missing here for Mighty is actually that secondary tank, because Diablo, even though he's a tank in this game, he serves a much more aggressive ganking role than like say a Muradin or a Johanna.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, you definitely start a lot with him. But okay, it looks like Valla going to be the first pick off here.
And a smart, this is preparation here. Mighty does some good prep work. They banned Kerrigan here. They studied 1.4.
Yeah.
And this means 1.4's draft's going to get a little bit awkward here.
This makes it a lot harder. Like, who do you want to pair up with Uther here? Because, I mean, Kerrigan is fantastic on the map. We even saw during that video last year. It was a big deal. And Falstad and Jaina coming out. So they're kind of hiding this last pick a little bit, I feel.
Yeah. I mean, we're never going to see in this meta, like, there's never going to be a fifth pick Illidan here. I'm really wondering what they're going to... I mean, Uther could still be quite powerful to pair with, those ranged assassins as well, just to make sure they're alive, but... With the Johanna pick this early, I feel like they were definitely aiming for something a little bit more...
They have to have something that rotates a little bit here. Like, I suppose they could take like another tank. They definitely can go with a bruiser like Sonya. But we'll see on that. We do have Sonya actually picked up by the other side. I think that's a fantastic pick. She's great at wave clear, has tons of damage.
I would love to see Raynor even perhaps as the fifth pick for Mighty right now. Just a little bit extra sustained auto attack damage.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad at all, I think.
But I wonder what they're going to pick here, because I think they're really considering, they have a lot of time, they're really considering what 1.4 is thinking about, and they want to try to kind of blind counter it here.
Yeah, I think it is going to be some sort of range damage dealing type of hero. Doesn't necessarily even have to be like a straight up assassin. Could be something like a Sylvanas.
Yeah, Sylvanas is another great choice.
Yeah.
Because, Zagara and Valla are both, the only other available heroes, but they're both banned. So... Yeah, I think Raynor, Sylvanas is probably the top two choices, I would say, at this point in time.
I would like to see the Raynor. I mean, Raynor is going to gain a lot of stacks. Greymane!
Greymane, again. Koreans are really starting to pick him up here.
He got a good buff just recently in this last patch. Definitely does more damage, has better health regen and all that stuff. So really excited to see him here, and he puts out a lot of damage.
Stitches is going to be the final pick here. Now, we'll see how that works out. I mean, it's definitely a strong pick for the map, I would say. And Stitches is gaining a lot of popularity. His damage was scaled up a little bit too recently in a patch. So he's a strong hero. Never count him out. And if he gets caught in the middle of a fight, Uther can always back him up with Divine Shield. So
he's a great hero for sure. I'm excited for this one. I really liked this draft. Who do you think came out on top here, Wolf?
You know, I would have to say Mighty. But I don't know exactly how they're going to play the Greymane yet. This is kind of like what we saw last week with MVP Black, where I saw the Greymane and I said, well, let's just wait and see.
Yeah.
I would have liked to see Raynor, you know, as that last pick. If they picked Raynor, I would definitely say them. But with this, I'm not 100% sure. I think both drafts are quite strong, though.
Yeah, they both definitely had their interesting points. Looks like the game, though, is about to load. To the Spider Queen, tell your friends. Super League.
Super League. Let's go into game number 1. All right, welcome to Tomb of the Spider Queen. Team Mighty for this match will be blue side, running Tyrande, Diablo, Kayle, Sonya, and Greymane in this first game.
Such a fun draft there. And of course, over on the other side, 1.4, meaning target one guy, is going to have Uther Falstad, Stitches, Jaina, and Johanna. And I got to say, talking about the drafts like we were before, I think that overall the drafting was done a little bit better here, you know, by Mighty. I do like the draft for them. I think that their picks were spot on and everything. And here we go, actually. They do attack a turret right to start.
Yep, Jongman taking a bit of damage here. I noticed that what we saw from 1.4 was simply trying to hide from Tyrande's owl to actually hide where they were going to be.
That's right. They also body block these minions a little bit, and it looks like already we might be in a death, and Jijimon goes down.
Yep, down goes Johanna, as well as Suri's going to go down here, and he will be able to back up the rest of his team. A good hook here might grab BDJ.
Ooh!
Turret will finish him off.
Indeed it will, and in fact a lot of damage going down on Sonya. Doesn't quite get him with that hammering. And it's time to split up and get your lanes going.
That's right. The minions have already kind of been fighting for a little while here. It's really important to note that Kael'thas, like you mentioned, has such wave clear. And on this map, his chain bombs are very, very powerful.
Yeah, it's super, super strong. And taking a look at these Tier 1 talents, we have, of course, Knight takes Pawn for Johanna for helping on clearing that lane. Other than that, a lot of build over the game type talents here for 1.4. And the most interesting thing about the other side is going to be Tyrande. She's going to be using a heal/poke build here.
Yep, looks that way.
Yeah, it looks that way. We'll see. But
yeah, and Greymane has also upgraded his cocktail at level 1, which is kind of the standard.
Yeah, we definitely see a lot of that. You know, we'll probably see quite a few cocktail upgrades for him. He can definitely put out a lot of damage the later you get into the game with that.
Well, I feel like with how Stitches is being played right now, I like that he goes for Regen Master. Especially if he's going to continue to be ganking, he will pick up a lot of extra globes between the lanes, and his late game has become quite powerful as a result. Now, Jongman here is waiting for an opportunity. He grabs Jaina right into the stun. Hitman is going to have to back off. He can't put any damage down here, and already a great trade.
Oh, missed hook there by Stitches, unfortunately. Some nice rotations coming out of Mighty. You really see some of the power behind the quickness of their lane clear here, being able to clear that out and run away immediately.
It's quite powerful. You can see they have a gem lead here as well at 36-26.
Yeah, and I want to go back to what you were just talking about with Stitches with this globe talent. You know, the fact that he's gaining 30 health every time he picks up a regen globe. A lot of times you're going to be able to counter that with something like a hero taking Giant Killer. I don't really see a lot of Giant Killer in this comp, so definitely is going to be someone that they're going to need to Hunter's Mark to be able to take down efficiently.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be what they're looking for. It's going to be their primary target here. Jongman jumping right into the fray here, going to eat a lot of Blizzard damage, but he has a huge health pool, and there goes Daisy, gets grabbed, and Lunar Flared is going to nearly escape there with that shield from Uther, and oh boy, getting a bit ahead of himself is BDG.
Yeah, that was a nice hook in there by Daisy, but you know, that's kind of interesting. You see him just attacking to Stitches, flip him over, do all this damage, but at the end of the day, Uther with just a heal and a shield going to help that Stitches get out. When he takes that talent, he has the highest health pool in the game.
Uh-oh, Joju gets caught here. He's going to get multi-stunned. Tries to use his Lunar Flare to escape, but will be picked off. And suddenly a level lead here for 1.4.
Yeah, they're playing very, very well right now, I do have to say. Good rotations all around, keeping everyone alive. Is there Uther player here?
Yep. And, you know, that's not a huge turn in here. It's not quite enough. It's actually their first turn in.
Taking a little bit to get that going. Not too many deaths or anything so far. No huge amounts of gems being lost out upon.
Oh, I think we will definitely see. Oh, hold that thought. Jongman getting caught here, and nice body blocks by Blessing. And down he goes.
Yeah, that was really well done. Now, luckily, Joju does pick up those gems, so can turn those in a little bit later as well. In the meantime, we do have up at the top Sonya versus Falstad in that lane. Pretty good lane. Both sides there, not going to die or lose that.
Really cool Greymane drawing there. This is 25, 29 more gems here they're going to turn in, and it's not quite enough. They're still too short.
Oh, don't you hate it when that happens?
Yeah. It's like someone on the team didn't do math right.
Yeah.
It happens to me most of the time. All right, Mind Pong here going to actually grab some damage here on the Mighty Roar. He's actually going to get slowed here and killed.
Nice pickup there.
Yeah.
Definitely they're doing a lot of work early on here as 1.4 team. Almost a full level up at the moment, and in fact, they're going to get those first Web Weavers. So a nice advantage continues to push forward.
I just feel like with Greymane in the lineup, he does have a lot of poke, and especially if he's going for that cocktail build, it can be quite powerful, but I just don't know if he's a great pick for this map. I feel like he cannot really rotate and gank very well. Once you hit 10, maybe it's a different story, but he is going for that Ghanaian cocktail build all the way, all 3 upgrades here.
Yeah, this is pretty much the most common build. If you look at a website like Hotslogs or something, this is the one that you're going to see most Greymanes are trying to use. Definitely adds a lot to his range damage there. But as you said, you know, as he hits 10, he's going to be able to jump in and mix it up a lot more efficiently.
Yeah.
Thing is, these are 2 great tanks that are protecting that back line, so it is a little bit hard to make him do what you need him to do.
Well, these Web Weavers are pushing currently. I wanted to point out also that Stitches does get amplified healing, which is going to pair quite well with Uther's heals. And it means we're almost never going to see Gorge with a build like this. He's definitely just want to run into the front and bile people.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right about that.
Oh! That hook on Joju! Oh!
Awesome play there by Daisy.
And that wasn't even blind either. He had vision for just 1 more second with the Spider Queen, the Web Weaver up at the front. So he was able to get that hook. And they're nearly going to hit 10 with this move, actually, which is going to give them a huge advantage. They may be able to deny a Web Weaver from ever occurring.
Yeah, this type of advantage that they have here, hitting 10 this much earlier, like an entire level earlier after already getting that first Spider Queens, that is a really big deal.
And now that they have the bot lane pushing, they should be able to continue to position themselves in such a way. I'm not sure how Kael'thas died. That was off screen, but looks like he just got hooked here by the looks of things. But they will be able to likely continue to prevent gem turn-ins.
Yeah, and by the way, we do see it is Putrid Bile like you were talking about before there, Wolf, on here with Daisy. And we actually do see Water Elemental for Jaina. That's definitely one that can go either way, but Water Elemental is going to be a great choice against all these melee heroes that want to actually come in and mix it up with her.
Yeah, that's right. And there are definitely pros and cons to both of them. But look at this, continuing to push here very, very heavily in the mid lane. Going to actually nearly kill that turret. Barely survives. But yeah, now actually enough gems for 1.4 for another turn-in. If they actually grab and group in, 45 just got dropped.
This could be big as well. We have a lot of gems all over the place. Like Stitches right now, or not Stitches, sorry, Diablo and Jongman is holding over 30 gems at the moment.
Yeah, he's got to be really careful about that. One thing I will say is Mighty is doing a great job of recovering gems from their lost players. They've actually got 8 deaths currently in this game, but we're seeing them recover the gems almost every time, which is so important. I can't tell you how many times in solo queue, like that one guy just like loses 50 gems and the guy sitting right next to him just walks away. I'm like, what are you doing?
Certainly the case. I've seen it more than once myself. Now we do see they are pushing in here in this middle lane. A lot of health here still on this Web Weaver with 4 strong. I think that there's a very good chance they're going to be able to take down this fort.
Yeah, it looks that way. Falstad's even rotating down as well, so they're really going to get this, no doubt here. And down it goes. Meanwhile, the bot lane was kind of left alone. Sonya was dealing with that on her own, and Greymane was trying to slow the top push. But they're going to rotate up now with this wave of minions.
Well, they're going to be able to get these towers in just a matter of seconds, and their lead just continues here. And, you know, they have plenty of time now that they are actually going to be able to back up and possibly deny turn-ins once again for Mighty.
Phoenix does get dropped here to actually try to, you know, basically shift the position of 1.4, but it's not very successful at all. It's on a low cooldown, so this is something that you can do quite a lot. Sonya is split pushing currently. It's a really smart move because she sees 5 in the top lane, and she's going to continue to push there. But this will give an easy boss at level 13 to 1.4.
Well, this is a huge advantage for them right now. Like, even if those Web Weavers are gotten, these lanes are pushed so strongly that all that would really do the Web Weavers is de-push the lanes. This is not the type of situation you want to be in as Team Mighty here.
Yeah, it's really, really nasty. At least they do have the gems, like 41 gems now on Zhangmen. Does avoid that hook very deftly there. And the boss, they actually do not take it. They decided that that was too risky.
Well, you know, it definitely can be. That can be a little bit of a throw pit. It's very tight up there, and if your opposing team comes in and your cooldowns are off because you're fighting a boss, you are now flanked by 2 very powerful forces, and a 1 or 2 level lead won't always win that for you.
That's for sure. And the Spider Queen, Tomb of the Spider Queen boss is unique in that it's one of the only bosses in the game where you can't really escape and disengage. If you look at like Sky Temple or Cursed Hollow, there's a pretty easy disengage for most maps. But on this map, you go in there, there's no coming out till that boss is dead or you're dead.
Yeah. All right, well, I'm very excited to see if this Greymane can actually do anything here. You know, he has taken Go for the Throat. It's really the only one that we see taken out of the 2 heroics. Turns him into a war game, lets him jump on someone to try to kill him with a lot of damage, and if it kills him, you get to use it again, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, so you can kind of clean up house with that, and you can jump on these squishies. So in this case, Falstad and Jane are going to be the targets. Uther not the worst target, depending on the situation. But I feel like they really need to start chipping away. And now that they have 13, that's going to be their opportunity to do so. Now that they have Chain Bomb available.
Yeah, that is a big power spike right now for Mighty. We'll see what they can get done with it. Looks like right now they are trying to get a turn in, and oh, absolutely beautiful with that hammer here from Mindpang.
Yeah, the Phoenix here is just not able to really do much yet again, but they are going to get their first Web Weaver turn in off of that. I guess the Phoenix really kind of zoning out, and Diablo eating the hook, allowing them to get that turn in. But down goes Janna. She gets caught here, and starting to look okay here for Mighty. They're making some good choices. They're getting some good pickups.
Yeah, you can definitely come back on this map. I would say it's definitely one of these ones where you don't give up till the very end. And very oftentimes the case, the team with Kael'thas earlier on might have a harder time against good rotations. But when he hits at 13, man, chain bombs start going off and everything changes.
Yeah. Now this push here, there's still a lot of experience points to be unlocked from these forts. You know, all the initial forts are still active, which means there's a ton of EXP that you can get from a push like this with the scaling. The Web Weavers, that was changed sometime, you know, last year, where they scale a lot better, they scale a lot faster, so you actually do more than, like, say, an Immortal push or a Punisher push at this stage in the game. So they're actually going to catch up with EXP without even getting a single kill besides the Jaina kill.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you can see how the EXP will sway on this map, and that's why what you're talking about, this map is not a tough map to come back on.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the best in regards to that, I would say. And looks like they are pushing those top forts, but they might be a little bit out of position here. Sonya's over the side, okay, does join up. And here we go. Looks like Daisy gonna pull in Kael'thas. A great hook there, and in a matter of seconds, he's blown up.
All right, a huge gust here from Falstad as well. Actually gonna lock everybody down. Look at the Divine Shield on Stitches up at the front. BDG is gonna be the next target. He tried to go for the throat, but it was not the right choice there. And it looks like they're just gonna chase and slow everybody else down. Mighty Roar turns to re-engage, but it's not enough.
Joju being hooked in right now, and they're going to clean him up as well. Some great play. That Putrid Bile, just an MVP in that battle as well.
Yeah, I also feel like one of the most important things was Daisy. You actually saw Daisy was like, you could see it in his movement, you know, in his mouse clicks. I could like feel them because he walked up, he waited, he looked for the perfect target, and boom, he grabs Kael'thas flawlessly.
It was a fantastic hook right there, and I mean, Kael'Thas didn't even know it hit him. Well, I mean, he knew a hook hit him, but he was dead in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, there was no way that that Tyranda's ult was actually going to save him there. It was not going to happen. Well, the Web Weavers here are set to roam again now for 1.4, and that may actually end up, allowing them to push a keep. They don't have a huge lead. They have a 1-level lead, and everyone is back up for Mighty, so they may or may not be able to keep. Let's see how they engage this.
Well, right now, with no keeps down, if they do clean this up very quickly, of course, there is still definitely the chance of a comeback, but they got to keep Kael'Thas alive. That's what really went wrong in that last fight. The fact that he blew up before they even started it gave them no chance.
Yeah, he didn't even get to cast a Flame Strike, so very nice casting there of Johanna's D there, or trait, to actually survive that Diablo run-in. Diablo gets caught, and Tyrande does drop her heroic again here, and a huge gust to push them away.
Wow, well, that gust almost kind of saves Diablo in a way. He has 84 gems right now, so definitely someone you do not want to die far away from your team.
Yeah. The gust there, I guess, was just simply for safety so they could get that fort no matter what.
Yeah, it was. It seemed like almost too safe. I thought that they might pick up the Diablo kill until that went down, but well, it looks like they are going to be able to at least get this gate. And don't forget, the gates right in front of the keep actually give a lot of experience, so fantastic to be able to clean that up.
Yep. They also saw, another thing to point out is that 1.4 saw Kayle was in the top lane this entire time. Oh man, Daisy is out of control with Stitches.
Yeah, almost gets them there. They will go ahead and back up after stealing this Bruiser camp from Mighty's side of the map. Looks like they might rotate down and grab the siege camp down at the bottom. Not a whole lot to do on this map, though, after you take 3 camps.
Yeah, it does get a bit, you kind of just have to posture around the lane.
Yeah.
But I think this is a great opportunity to take it. Kael'Thas is in the top lane. You know he's gone, so you know that you're not going to have that much resistance. We're seeing actually a ton of Phoenix play here to just try to zone out for these turn-ins. Kong doing a good job of that.
Look at this. Actually, we have Roar zoning out for Jungman, and he does finally get that turn in and gets the Weavers all by themselves and still has 33 gems left over.
You can see the Gonea cocktail actually does do a decent amount of damage when it hits the team, and if you can keep poking with it, it's quite powerful, but this map doesn't often end up being a poke map, and Kong gets caught again. He has to immediately drop his Arcane Barrier.
Oh, and it looks like he might end up going down as well, so low, but somehow, someway does get saved there. Nice heal at the end by Tyrande. In the meantime, we do have Daisy running around, and they do trap Roar and kill him.
Yep, they push everyone else away using that Falstad Mighty Gust. We're still alive here, barely. It looked like does end up surviving, and actually it's Daisy who goes down next. They've turned this fight around with the re-engage. The Web Weavers are active, and that's definitely helping them out, that extra AoE damage.
Oh, absolutely, and they are going to be the first ones to be able to take a keep down. It certainly looks like it. With just Jaina left as far as the damage goes, I don't think there's any way for them to hold on here.
Oh, it definitely doesn't look like it. We do see Venapong coming back in here. They're not going to be able to save that keep, and not only do they get this keep, but also the top lane has been re-pushed out. So still down in experience, but definitely a good place now with the mid lane pushing with the catapult minions from now on.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That ended up working out very, very well for them right there. You know, it almost went the other way as well. If Kael'Thas had been blown up right at the beginning, as he very close to was, the game would look completely different right now. They would absolutely still have that keep.
I think it comes down to that very quick pop on the Arcane Barrier. He obviously has a ton of stacks on his mana addict. We don't know exactly how many. It's not shown to us right now, but I guarantee it's probably like nearing 40 at this point.
You definitely get a lot of globes on this map with the amount of rotations there are.
Yeah. Well, a big turn in here actually again for Mighty. And
it's exactly enough.
Exactly. It's going to be exactly the turn in there. And this is scary because now they've lost a keep. And it's going to keep pushing all the lanes.
And look, their lane clear is pretty good. It's just not quite as good as their opponents here. I mean, Kael'Thas is the one that can really blow up these lanes, so this is going to be a pretty scary push, and it looks like right now Mighty is going to go for that top keep.
Yep. Already setting up, knows the position of Diablo at the front, so that he can actually absorb any damage they may encounter.
And they just got to make sure to keep Kael'Thas behind everywhere. Oh! Hooks in a little minion.
Notice that Jungman stays right next to Kael'Thas at all times to prevent these sort of hooks from occurring.
The hook is on cooldown for the time being. That keep falls in a matter of seconds. Damage starting to come forward.
All right, you know, one of the things.
That was close.
One of the things that Mighty really lacks in their team composition as well, and I didn't really think about it until just now, is they don't have a very good initiation in their comp. You know, Diablo's the only way they can really fight, and he's going to have to be pretty close for that to happen.
Yeah, I think what's really kind of helping them out with that, I guess, is the fact that Kael'thas is going to deal so much damage, almost forces initiation upon your team.
That's true.
Starts to blow up these turrets. Are pushing forward on this bottom lane. The last keep remaining for their opponents.
20 is up for both teams here. Jungleman jumping in. Tyrande misses the Lunar Flare, though. She actually drops her heroic. A big Blessed Shield Stun going down here. Diablo gets bursted down. Minapong going to actually use a Mighty Gust to try to get everybody away, and he will survive for now.
Wow, and he even got the upgrade to that Gust as well here. Looks like they are going to go ahead for the chase. Oh, a nice jump in, but a beautiful Divine Shield here from Suri.
Oh, and Suri turns on him and grabs that kill. A beautiful Divine Shield indeed. Artosis, what a move there. I can't even believe what I am seeing. Valset does go down, and again, Jaina will survive for a bit longer. BG, though, coming in. And they're actually going to pick up Uther.
Well, Uther, I believe his redemption is on cooldown here, so he should be popping right back up. In the meantime, that is a lot of catapults, and with no real damage here, they might be able to finish it off.
Uther did survive, but he's actually, you know, instantly picked off there. He probably should have left a bit earlier, wanted to slow down this push perhaps. Daisy is the only line of defense here. Okay, here comes Blessing. It's going to be really close. I think if they just target down the core, they should be able to get it. There's a lot of lanes pushed. There's 2 catapults in the top.
Yeah, it looks like this should be it, and it looks